Hello, it's Barb coming to your Craft Studio. I have a haul to share with you. Yesterday we went to Target, Ollie's, Dollar Tree, and today we went to a flea market and I picked some things up there. So it's kind of collectibles slash crafts. We're going to start with my flea market finds. I was a big Sean Cassidy fan. Used to watch the Hardy Boys every Sunday night. I did not even know there was a game. I told the guy, I'm surprised because I owned a lot of Sean Cassidy merchandise, but I do not remember there being a game. He says, yeah, and then they also had an American Girls game, which I did buy for my daughter. At first I said, did you see this? And I said, he has it marked 30. I said, it's basically like brand new. And he had this one marked 20. So it would have been $50 for the two of them. She goes, I don't think I want to spend 30. And I said, would you take 40 for both of them? And he says, yeah. So basically figured I got this one for 15, that one for 25. She goes, you bought it anyways? I said, well, actually, by the time I seen your message, I'd already bought it. But I said, they had this one too. And I said, I offered them. She goes, oh, well, that's not so bad. So I said, the game's like new. I said, he says that it doesn't look like it's ever been played. So this one I think was, but the American Girl one was not. I gave that to her. She actually has a Instagram page for her American Girl stuff. It's Samantha Parkington. I'm trying to think if she put, it seems like it has a number after it. And I don't remember whether it was 84 for the year she was born or 92 for the year she got her Samantha doll. But anyways, so if you like American Girl stuff, give her a follow over there. I bought a couple of Nancy Drew books. I bought number 6, which was Secret of Redgate Farm, and number 7, which was Clue in the Diary. This is what I remember the books looking like. The matte yellow finish. I don't know what year this one actually came out, but this is what I remember the books looking like when I had them as a kid. Let's see if it has a... It just says 1962 in there. It doesn't have a second copy. I thought maybe it would have a second one. Though I know originally they were published in like the 30s. So maybe that is its date. But there. And this one's kind of got the glossy type finish. It's very similar. One thing that's different is I more remember this look on the back, whereas this one does it more like this. So I definitely remember this style being the style that was, though I did have some of the old blue covers. I don't know if they at one time had like a book jacket on them, but I did have some of the blue ones that I got. We either found them at garage sales or we found them. See, like this one has copyrights of 31, 61, and 89. So this would have been, the glossy finish would have been more when they published them. I was out of Nancy Drew stage by then. And then I also remember reading the Trixie Belden books growing up. I really liked Trixie Belden. This one I spent $2 on. I think the Nancy Drew ones, this one was 2 and the other one was 3. But I got this one. A couple of pictures of them in there. I remember reading Trixie Belden, and I decided to just pick them up. I'm not good at my Roman numerals. XL 8. Is that 48? I thought the L was 50 and an X before it would have been. Might have been, but I do remember reading Trixie growing up, and I got number 2 as well, which was also $2. These ones were in pretty good shape. I had seen these at the one flea market thing we had went to. It's like an indoor flea market that's always open in the bigger city that we're near. but I think they were charging a lot more than that. And I'm like, I don't know that I want to get it. Which I did see one more Trixie Belden one. And that one was marked $5. And I'm like, yeah. I said, I don't think I'm going to grab that one. This one was in rough shape, but this one was only $1. This one's Trixie Belden and the Mysterious Visitor. This one looks a little different inside than the other one did. But this one says copyright 1954. This one, so there. So that is what I got at the flea market. Ollie's, I mainly went because K is for Karen shared that she found venture materials at her Ollie's. And I was happy because I also found them. These are 25 inches wide by 5 feet long. You could use these on another smaller machine. You just have to cut it down and put it on a mat. But I have the Venture, so I can use this without a mat on my Venture. I thought I would like to have a few materials for it. Now, they're expensive, so I don't have a ton. But, I mean, I've bought poster board and used that because it's the right size to put on the mat, the huge mat, and put through there. And I've used that when I've had to do when I wanted to do a few things, like, and do a whole bunch at once so that I could get it done fast. And black. So I bought it in red and black. Those were the only 2 colors that mine had. Mine did not have any of the iron-on. They just had the smart vinyl. Hubby picked these out, so I need to bring those back over to the house. They're Lindy's Country Sweets Vanilla Yogurt Flavored Pretzels. Usually he picks out candy, but he said, he asked if he could have the pretzels. I'm like, that's fine, you can have the pretzels. In a way, it was kind of nice that he got something other than the candy because he's got a lot of hard candy put away. I needed one more just generic USA patriotic flag for my, where I hang them up at, because the only other one I had left after I put mine up was a one that said Happy 4th of July, which I'll use that, but I don't want to put it up in the middle of May. I'll probably wait till at least early June, but I'll put this one up for now, and I'll replace one of the flags. I don't know which one it'll be with the 4th of July one when it gets closer. I did also find this Cricket Joy Smart Label writable vinyl in kind of the silver. I almost bought 2 of those, and I bought them. By the way, that the Venture material was $2.99, and this was $2.99, which, you know, by comparison, the Venture vinyl was a much better bargain. But I do like the Cricket Joy label sheets that you can write on with a pen. And then this is Vicky Bouton Peppermint Kisses. I thought these images were really cute. They're kind of got like a vintagey look to them. Here's what all the stuff inside there looks like. I really liked that set. I've gotten kind of nostalgic. I think it just happens at a certain age. You start getting nostalgic for different things. Hubby picked out a couple of the books. He picked out this Star Wars New Hope book and the coloring book. I don't think he had this particular one because this is Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think the ones he had were The Mandalorian. I don't think he had Obi-Wan. So we picked those out. He did pick out 4 little golden books at the flea market. They were all Star Wars themed, and he picked out, they had like a baggie full of baseball cards. There was a Cub one right on top. So he's like, I want that. And I said, how much are the cards? And she says, $1. I'm like, yeah, we can get the cards. I should have grabbed them. They had a couple other packs. I should have just grabbed them all for $1. But I didn't even think about it till long after we were past that booth. And then I got other things shoved in my bag that don't need to be shared. Oh, I also went to Hobby Lobby. I forgot I went to Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby. I mainly went over to Hobby Lobby because I wanted to buy these. Usually I like to wait until they go on sale. The patriotic stuff will probably go on sale tomorrow because that's what. And I know Hobby Lobby isn't open on Sunday, but their ads do start on Sunday. So if you order online, you start getting those prices on Sunday. So their new ad still sets on Sunday, even though the physical stores aren't open. But I wanted some more ornaments for my tree. Though I will tell you, I had some of this from Dollar Tree from last year. I had like 3 different styles of it. They called it table scatter. I just used my crocodile and punched a hole in it and tied a string through it. And I'm using those as ornaments on my tree. Because, hey, it works. I had the little rockets. I had the gnomes. And I had the popsicles. About half of them I punched and hung on my tree. I should do some more and hang on my really little tree across that I have in our bedrooms. But I bought those to put on the tree out here. Let's see, Dollar Tree. This is technically a dog toy. I will use it for the cat. It does have a squeaker in there, but she's not going to push that hard enough to make it squeak. Because I think the squeak would probably scare her. She's a little skittish at loud noises, so she doesn't like storms. She hides when it storms. But hubby's a big Captain America fan, so when he seen that, he's like, Ella needs that. I'm like, okay, we can get that for Ella. That's fine. I'm fine with getting that for Ella. Just trying to get his... I'll leave his color books out here for when he colors. Or maybe I will bring it over to the house because he has several out here. We have a little cart at the house that's his activities cart so that he can color, or there's puzzles on there, there's coloring, there's scratch art. You realize that? I did find this. It's supposed to be paint, but he could use his markers or colored pencils with it. He found a Captain America one, and I'm like, how about the Harry Potter one too? Because we like Harry Potter. So we bought both of those. And I bought this sign just because I thought this one was cute. This one didn't look too bad. I had seen it one other time at one of the other locations I went to. And you have to really watch these corners because some of them don't look so good. And the other location, the ones they had left, didn't look good. I'm like, I know it's only $1.50 or whatever it is. So I think the artwork, the licensed artwork, the Marvel and the Harry Potter were $1.75. Just FYI. Oh, I also bought this at Hobby Lobby. Since the spring stuff was now 50% off, I picked this up. But I would like to know why in the spring line, something like this is $7.49. But in like the patriotic, a sign similar to this is $4.49. It's $3 more in the spring line. Why? They had the ones that look like the little booths. They had one that looked like a little ice cream stand, a little like roadside stand type thing. And it was $7.49. And then they had a fireworks one, which was actually bigger than the ice cream one. And it was $4.49. I'm like, why is there a $3 price difference when the one that's cheaper is actually bigger? That doesn't make any sense. It's like they priced the spring line wrong. Oh, I think these might be my daughter's. She's probably wondering what happened to her chips. I'm pretty sure those are my daughter's. I did buy these at Dollar Tree because I thought they would be cute in making one of the little Altoids journals things, or that one I did out of the Cricut box if I wanted to fill that with some little tiny flowers and put it on the shelf. Hubby picked out these at Hobby Lobby. He always wants something. He always wants some candy when we're there, and I don't mind. I just like, fine, pick out what you want. Sometimes he'll reach for something he doesn't like, and then I'll say, no, you don't really like that flavor, so let's choose something else. And he always does, but he chose the gummy bears this time. I picked these up at Dollar Tree because I really like the Thrill Ride ones. It's got cotton candy, lemonade loop, carousel caramel apple, funhouse fruit punch, and churro coaster. I really like the churro one. Now, they have the one that's the ice cream one, and there's a chocolate one, which I thought I would really like because I love chocolate, but I did not like that one. It's my daughter's favorite, so she actually took all the chocolate ones out of my one pack. I think these are also my daughter's. And hubby picked these out. Oh, and he thinks he picked these out, too. So some of that's hubby's and some of that's. Some of it's my daughter's. But that is what we picked out. We said we went out to the flea market today. I got too much sun. I got a little bit of a headache. But we had fun, and hubby was really good. A few times he got where he would just like want to just stand there. And I had his arm, and it's like he started shaking off my arm. I'm like, that's fine if you don't want me to hold your arm, but then you have to keep moving. You can't just stop and not move. I moved taking your arm to, keep you moving, because we're standing here blocking people from looking at this stuff. So, but he was really good. I said, I think I figured out the trick at something like that is so big. And they do it much like the county fair. There's a lot of food trucks out there and stands, expensive food, but they had food trucks, and that's where we had our lunch today. So we looked at about half the stuff. We stopped and had lunch. We just got a corn dog, because we kind of ate that as we walked around, and a lemonade, which the lemonade was $9. It's like, oh, we'll just share one. And then we looked around at probably 2/3 of what was left. So there was just a little bit left to look at. And there's a little coffee food truck that'll sometimes sit in the town that we're in now. And they're pretty reasonably priced, especially compared to all the other booths that were out there. So we stopped and got a frozen hot chocolate. And we drank that as we finished walking around looking. And then I ended up walking back to the booth that had the Hardy Boys game to see how much it was. Because the first time I didn't look at the price. I'm like, I'm sure it's more than I want to spend. But I decided to go back and look at the price of that and the American Girl game. And I kind of texted my daughter, and she's like, I think 30 is a little high for me. And I'm like, and I didn't get her response back, because I had asked, somebody else was actually looking at the Hardy Boys game while I was looking at the American Girl one better. And they kind of walked off. And I said to the guy, I said, okay, if I got both the American Girl one and the Hardy Boys game, would you take 40 for both of them rather than the 50 they're marked? He goes, sure, no problem. And he goes, I think he did that just in time, because I think the other lady wanted that Hardy Boys game. And she went, and then she goes, oh, darn, I should have bought that when I seen it. I'm like, too late, I got it. I did see it was on Etsy for around the same price, but I would have had to pay shipping there. So I figured I was okay just buying it in person there. And I could see this one was in pretty good shape. That's one thing. Sometimes I don't like buying things on like Etsy or eBay. I don't even have my eBay account anymore. I did see a Sean Cassidy doll there a while back. I think now you can just use like a Discover card. So I should sign back up for my account and see about if they put that Sean Cassidy doll back up. I should see about for a decent price. I mean, I see there's more than one Sean Cassidy doll there. I want one that has the clothes. I don't need all of the accessories. I don't need it mint in box. I can't afford it in the box, And I know my daughter said, yeah, because somebody had the gem doll, one of the gem dolls. One had it in the box, but the box was all beat up. And then another one just had it in a bag with some ridiculous price. And the one guy said, he's like, he kind of said a lady who was running the booth. I guess from what she said, she says, because I'm a collector. Once that's out of the box, it's worth $10 max. You can't ask 50 for it if it's not in the box. You just can't. Nobody's going to pay that. Or if they do, you've taken advantage of them. But my daughter said, she says, some of the stuff at her booth, she goes, they've been at the last two we've went to. So obviously nobody is buying it at that price. So you would think she'd realize she's got it priced too high, because otherwise it would be sold. It wouldn't still be sitting there. But I said, yeah, I didn't even know they made an American Girl or Hardy Boys board game. So when I decided to go back and look at the Hardy Boys one closer, and when I looked at the price, I'm like, that's not actually too bad. So I was actually thinking about buying that regardless. And then he actually said to me on the American Girl one, so he goes, I would go down a little bit. I know it says firm, but I would go down a little bit on it. And I heard him say he would go down on the Hardy Boys one to the other lady, and she kind of walked off. So I thought, okay, I'm going to ask now if he'll take less on both of them, and I buy them together. And he did. So I'm sure my daughter will be sharing that game on her American Girl Doll Instagram. But anyways, thanks for joining me. I'll catch you next time.